Let's take another look at the YouTube gun community. This time we're going to look at the big YouTube channels, we'll call them. So the first time we looked at the 5 largest gun-related channels. This time we're going to look at the next 9 in order of subscribers. Now, this is all done for entertainment purposes. If you don't like the way we did this, or you think you can come up with better numbers, we encourage you to do so, and please share it with everyone. So what we're going to look at in this video, that first video we looked at the YouTube community. We were looking back at our channel and discovered that it was easy to come up with some of this information. So we started to compare it, and we looked at the last video at the top 5 largest gun-related channels here on YouTube, and that brings us from 300,000 subscribers all the way up to like 4.5 million. In this video, we're going to look at the next 9. That brings us the group from about 100,000 subscribers up to about 250,000 subscribers. Now, we use subscribers as an indicator of audience. Hopefully this is encouraging for anybody who's watching YouTube videos and anybody who's deciding to start making YouTube videos, because it looks like there's a lot of potential here, and the audience is just growing. Now we're going to take a look, just to put it in perspective, at the top ones again. We got FPS Russia at 4.5 million subs. Of course, that's off the charts, so we look at the next 4 largest subscriber channels, and that's what we looked at in the last video. And again, to put that in perspective, it almost doesn't even register when you put FPS Russia in there. So when we look at just those 4, they barely show up at the bottom. So when we talk about this next 9 group of channels, you can see that we barely even register compared to those others. Now, when we talk about these large channels, we're talking about channels that are just reaching 100,000 subscribers all the way up to 250,000 subscribers. Now, we'll go through the list, look at their growth curves, and then compare them, and we'll just go from largest at the moment down. So starting at the top, we've got Eric over at Iraq Veteran 8888, one of the people I know personally. I had a lot of fun meeting with Eric. We went to his Halloween or his pumpkin shoot last year. We'll be posting videos like behind the scenes of that soon. But you can see Eric has been on YouTube for a long time. He started back in 2009, back when we did his first videos. A lot of times were just kind of the camera pointed at the gunsmithing bench. They would go through the projects they were doing. They would talk about guns. They would go shooting. Just the kind of stuff people like and enjoy. And you can see that they put the work in, and they got a large channel early on, and then at some point they just grew exponentially, and it's totally deserved. I'm sure if you watch our videos, you've seen Iraqi veterans videos, but I know that our audiences aren't completely identical, so please encourage you to check out their videos. Great stuff over there. And again, this chart really doesn't do it justice by itself. When you see it in comparison to others, you'll see just how exponential Eric's growth has been over there. So next we've got Mr. Colion Noir, another interesting story here on YouTube. He started his channel just in the middle of 2011, and by April 2011 hadn't changed too much, and then just had exponential growth since then. Of course, he works with NRA, and that has something to do with it, but it's interesting to see. And again, even if you don't appreciate the way the exponential growth happened for a channel, it's encouraging to see that it can happen. So lots of different ways that channels can get large and become popular. And again, the diversity of channels is awesome here on YouTube. So next, let's look at what I consider one of the backbones of the community. Now, there's Cutlerylover and there's Nothing Fancy, and obviously you know both of those channels if you're watching videos here. And there's a reason for that. Even before our data can go back, they've had incredibly large channels. And this chart here is interesting in lots of ways. First off, it doesn't do it justice. Once you see the other channels laid down here with it, you'll be able to compare that Jeff's channel was just incredibly large since the beginning of he helped foster or create the YouTube gun and knife community, and he and Nothing Fancy both did an excellent job, and you can see that in their growth curves, and it's steady, consistent growth over time. Not fly by night, or not viral videos here and there. This is consistent, good information put out, and people appreciating that and subscribing to the channel at a consistent rate. And again, totally worth it. We have to give credit where credit's due, and honestly, I don't think the gun community could have even existed without Jeff and Nothing Fancy as well. But his channel's obviously a little bit bigger, so his was mentioned in the last video. So next, let's go down to Sturmgewehr Tim over at Military Arms Channel. And again, somebody I know personally, one of the people I think is doing the best job of representing us here in the gun community on YouTube. And again, another channel that's been around for a long time. You can see that he's put in the work. He's had a good, steady, consistent increase in subscribers, and that's because he put out consistent, highly produced, excellent videos on interesting topics. And then again, when everybody else got this hit in April, he deservedly went right along for the ride. And people have mentioned that they were surprised he wasn't mentioned in the last video. Obviously, the numbers indicate where people are going to be, but Tim's nowhere near finished. This is just the beginning of what I expect to be an exponential growth for him and his channel. So next up would be Such, and another channel that has a different type of curve. You can see that again, Such has been doing this since my data goes back, and again, putting out consistent videos with that his audience appreciates, and getting a steady supply of, or a steady increase in subscribers over the years. And even again, you can see that some of these channels just don't get affected the same way. And I again believe that that has something to do with the type of subscribers. People aren't looking for viral videos from somebody like Such. They're looking for information. Then we've got James Yeager, another person I know personally. I've known James since I think 2005 or so, and I have to say we've been friends for the last couple of years. And James got into the internet very early on and into YouTube quite a ways back, but didn't really do a lot with his channel. He did grow over time. He's been on national TV shows a few times. Obviously, he's been in the news, and once he really started to appreciate what YouTube had and the community had to offer, he's really been having fun with it. And if you've been watching his videos, you can see that. So if you're not familiar with James Yeager, he's an instructor. Tactical Response is the name of his school. It's in Tennessee, and like I say, he's definitely a big part of the firearms community in general, and now he's becoming a pretty big part of the YouTube community as well, as you can see by the numbers. Next up, well, I guess that's us, so there's us. Say what you want. I don't know how to critique myself, so we'll just put us in the list there, and go on to Jeff over at TAOFLEDERMAUS, another person I know personally, a good friend of mine. He's over in California, and we definitely want to include him in the gun community because he's been doing so much with the shotgun shells, and he's such a good ambassador to the other people out there, the rest of his audience that comes for his slow motion stuff and all the interesting videos he does that are more science, I guess, science related. And again, somebody who's been on YouTube and part of the community for years, ever since we have been, definitely since our data's goes back. And again, steady, consistent growth with subscribers that are interested in his content. When everybody kind of took an upswing there in April, he went along for the ride, deservingly so, and he just passed us as far as subscribers go, and I couldn't be happier. Somebody that for the longest time had been helping the community and putting out good videos, and definitely getting rewarded for it, and that's awesome. And then we got TN Outdoors 9, another person I've met and had dinner with, thanks to Artisan Tony, when Haas and I were on our road trip last year. And you can see that TN Outdoors 9 has been putting out videos since 2009, again, pretty much since our data goes back, and he's been putting out consistent videos, not because he was looking to create a massive channel, but because he was interested in the results of his testing, and he wanted to put out consistent, decent testing, and obviously that's paid off. And when everybody got hit in April, he again deservingly went up dramatically, and again, definitely worth it. Good guy, excellent representative for the YouTube or for the gun community here on YouTube. So I didn't want to just do this to pat everyone on the back. I mean, we definitely all have our own reasons for doing our channels, but the numbers are numbers, and it's interesting to see. Like I say, there could be some problem with our data, but you can see that pretty much across the board, everybody gets affected in April of 2012. I'm still struggling for a good answer for that. We've heard of potentially Obama doing it. The Zimmerman verdict came out in that month. Not completely sure why everyone had such exponential growth, but the thing is, it's been consistent since then. It's not a spike, it's an upward climb, and nobody's peaked. So I hope this is encouraging for everybody that's out there, not just interesting. I'm not just trying to pat myself on the back here. I think it's fun to be on YouTube and to be on this ride, and there's plenty of room for other people. So again, why do we put out videos like this? I'm going to say it again. There's a lot of opportunity out here. There's plenty of viewers. We'll take a look at that again in a second. And viewers are the key. What you want to watch is what gets the views, and we have a media ability to interpret that. If you don't like videos about red sports cars, people can put out videos about blue sports cars. So take that power and use it. This is a new media. Hopefully, it will replace the old-fashioned media, and I think things might be a lot different with that. So again, just to put it in perspective, it seems like we're talking about big numbers, but we don't even register when we look at how large some of the big channels are. So these are really all eyeballs, people watching videos out here. We encourage you to start making videos if you haven't. Keep watching videos if you are. We'll be doing more videos in this series. We always encourage you to support the organizations that support our freedom. We'll post information like this on our websites. We always appreciate your support. And as always, thanks for watching.